Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're James and with Games. Happy Saturday, folks. Hello, Cedric. Oh my, I just got a real bleak look at my own face there in high definition. Oh well, it's okay. I look okay for 40. Here we are. It is a very gray and rainy day here in Halifax. And I have nothing more to add to that. Hey, Waffle Syrup! Welcome! We're continuing on with Suikoden, which now, in its remastered form, has the subtitle Gate Rune War. There are definitely runes. That has been made clear in the story. Not yet clear on the gate. But I bet these details will eventually be revealed. So yeah, here we are. Before we hop in, I'm just going to jump out and say, I decided to fire up Baba Is You the other day and just start a new save and just start playing again from the start. And it's interesting to open up a puzzle and be like, I know I've solved this before. Hail British. Yeah, look at a puzzle and be like, I know I solved this before. And I can't even think of what the first step might be or the last step. The two easiest steps to try to identify. All right. Okay. What a great game. I believe Baba Is You. Definitely one of my favorite video games. But also, probably one of the great artistic achievements of the form, in my view. It just feels like it all comes together. All the different elements of the game come together so effectively. Yeah, in my main save, I have long since rolled credits and made a reasonable bit of progress into the exceptionally deeply hidden secret levels, which is cool. But so in my normal save, I'm at the point now where it's like, if I fire it up, I have a bunch of puzzles to look at that I've already looked at for hours and that I do not know what to do. So it's much harder progress is extremely incremental in my main save. Turn my own headphones up a little bit here. Okay, so if I recall correctly, and I think I do, I thought I recalled well enough to give the episode clear title. Yes. The Elven Village is located southeast of Kuan and should be found along the eastern edge of the forest. I believe I did all the stuff that I want to do with the party last time. Perhaps I'll find out that I'm misremembering, but if I do, well, we've got a save right here. Yeah. Rough week. No point in fighting the flying squirrels. We will graciously allow them to flee. You too, rocks. I mean, the rocks even more so. The flying squirrels aren't bad for the monetary reward. Actually, now that I think about it, it was this place. Oh, okay. My assumption last time had been that entering the forest, I had found one spot where there's like a path into the forest. Unlike many JRPGs, this game does not let you, on the world map, walk into the forest. But there's a little spot where there's like a pathway going in. I thought that would be how to get to the Great Forest. Turns out it's just a village outside of the forest. Well, that's strange. I'm sure I saw it. An elf appeared right here and... Hey, you! Stop right there! Guys, look! I was telling the truth. There's an elf here. Best not to cause a commotion. There's a secret elven trail through the forest up ahead. Let's hurry. Kirkus is an elf who has joined our party. Otherwise, I have the mainstays, James, Gremio, Victor, and Cleo. And I've cycled in Eileen, the wife of the dude whose name escapes me, who we recruited last time. So we'll make our way through this town. Might as well update my save. Can you believe it? Elves beyond this forest? Says he's seen them, but I think he's just gone mad. La Pant, yes. It's French for the pant, as you've noted. Oh, man. I managed to get 2 recommendation letters written for students today that I meant to do this week, but like I said, rough week. So I feel good about that. Are you part of the Liberation Army? Master Mace used to say, a sound body keeps a sound mind. When the world goes wrong, so do people's minds. Please let me join the Liberation Army. I'll help straighten out people's minds. Okay, but is there going to be anyone else? Is there another employee here in case we need the services? Thank you so much. Then I'll head straight over to Odessa Castle. Boom. They come fast and furious. Okay, good. Can we afford to upgrade anyone's weapon? Because if so, I guess we might just as well. I'll do Victor. He's my heavy hitter. Okay. Is this that same guy? I saw an elf. I really did. Walked out of that forest. Damn it, no one believes me. I find in my recommendation letters, I wind up repeating a lot of tropes. Like, never like in a lying way. But especially with first year students, very often I'm just like, yep, good student, dedicated to improving, sought my advice before they submitted assignments, took the course seriously, even though not every engineering student takes their so-called soft skills seriously. All those sorts of things. Yeah, so like the one I did for a first year today, it was for a student who I know. Like I recognize him, I've interacted with him. I think he's a fine young man. But yeah, I didn't have any of the high level knowledge. The best recommendation letters are the ones where like you can cast aside the tropes and be like, here's a paragraph where I'm going to tell you about one particular interaction with the student that I think really shows who they are and what their character is, which I was able to do for the upper year student today. Anyway, got them both done on time. May 31st and June 1st were the respective deadlines. So, guilt assuaged. I'm Sansuke. I make baths. All right, great. We need to bathe. Not a single one of us has bathed since the start of this campaign. Join ya? Sure. I found some great wood, so I can even build you a bath. All right. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's definitely not going to be one of the... I don't think either of these new recruits are going to be the join you in battle type. That's the great forest up ahead. Even we never venture into it. Folk end up getting lost in there. I'll go to forest maze. Mega medicine seems like something that it couldn't hurt to have one of in somebody's hands. But let's see. Who has what? plenty of medicine. And actually some mega medicine already in Gremio's hands. But we have no needles to cure this balloon status. Thinking it cannot hurt to be prepared. Eileen, you will be the needle holder. We're going to give you 2 packs of needles. And then let's also give some mega medicine to Eileen for now. Because simply due to being underleveled, she is going to be... Please don't go there. Sure, that's fair. Presumably it's residential upstairs. But you gotta understand, on the off chance there's somebody that we could recruit to our army, you know, if I was able to just give your son a quick pitch on laying down his life for the liberation. Okay, here we go. I actually had a recent interaction on Blue Sky with somebody posting about the history of RPGs and talking about basically how when you get into more explicitly top-down game, and as the genre evolves, yeah, I could already tell that, like, really as soon as they did bucket to represent blindness, you're like, okay, we're getting quirky with the status conditions here. Hello, Tashtari. Happy Saturday. And he was talking about how sort of, you know, a lot of grid-based, the so-called blobbers, you know, your might and magics, your wizardries, relied on hazards that are all about disorienting the person trying to make a map of the space, and how those kind of traps just kind of fade out of RPG design as we get away from that mode of play. And I pointed out to him that actually my latest memory, and perhaps one of the latest examples of those being used, I don't know. I mean, they're probably used all the time in like retro games now. But in Breath of Fire 1, there's a dungeon that is it's just a maze of single tile corridors floating in space. And you, at random junctures, it uses the Mode 7 effects to just rotate the map. And my Breath of Fire 1 playthrough died in that dungeon because I saved in the middle of the dungeon and then could never find my way forward or backward again. I was not a good navigator as a young man. There's a spell at work beyond this point. Stay close to me or you'll get lost. I like the ambient sound of the forest. I'll start running again soon. Just right now it feels so peaceful. I should just be strolling. Holly boys! We'll just unload. I don't know anything about these enemies yet. So might as well start from the assumption that... Okay. Huh. Oh, so most of them were just running away. And they made the right call. The Holly boys and the mistletoe men. What? What? Oh dear, I think I messed up. Say, mister, do you know where we are? The Empire? Which one? Oh my, that's pretty much on the opposite side. My name's Vicky. I'm a poor little girl with nowhere to go. Will you protect me? Yes. They, during the dark period of late Vince McMahon, WWE would constantly do street fights, but like silly gimmick street fights. Oh, wow. So that dialogue that he gave was specifically to say, okay, now you can actually navigate this place. Cool. And once they did I think it was fairly well regarded as a fun match. They did a Miracle on 34th Street fight at Christmas time. I don't know. It's not my kind of professional wrestling. Oh, thank you. What? The Liberation Army? No way. You have a castle? That's amazing. Where is it? Oh, that's not too far. Let's go then. Vicky has joined the group. She teleports away. Yeah. She's definitely... This was not her first random teleportation into a place she didn't intend to go to. I should have paid more attention to whether the rewards for this fight... Wait a minute. Is Eileen poisoned or something? It looked to me like she lost... Not that she even lost hit points, but that a green 0. Yes. What does that mean? Oh, wait. Isn't green healing? Does she have some sort of regenerative thing on? Yes, I think she does. That's her dedicated, like, unremovable equipment, isn't it? Hold on. Yes, great. Way better than... I mean, if she was poisoned but only taking 0 damage, that'd also be good. I was expecting the Holly Boys to, like, give us the balloon status, and perhaps they will. Okay. This part seems pretty straightforward to navigate. Oh, geez. Except that it looks like... I can't tell. This might be a complete waste of time. What I'm about to do. And I once again didn't pay attention to how Eileen was doing experience point wise. Okay, is this the same exit or does this get me that treasure? Gets me the treasure. Escape talisman. If we do get lost in the woods. I'm not sure if Breath of Fire 1 had escaped the dungeon items, but if it did, I didn't have one with me. Holly. Granted, you know, they're the ones initiating the fight. But it does seem a little suspect that we're coming to the forest to help the elves. But we are going to kill this one. But then again, you know, Kirkus is participating. He's a mistletoe elf, not a holly elf, so... Their clans have a blood feud. This is a durable enemy with big hits. Much more serious situation. And also... Haha! Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need to heal quite yet. But we definitely took more damage from the Holly Elf, not the Mistletoe Elf, than anything else so far. A luck rune piece, hey? Well. Hey, Daniel Wills. Hey, babe. Oh, we're walking the path. Thanks to our elf friend, Kirkus. Otherwise, we'd be endlessly respawning on the same stage, on the same screen. Okay. Well, I like to use the stat boosting items to juice up the strongest characters. So let's improve the luck of the hero. Already the luckiest of all people. We'll graciously let those Holly Boys go. Since most of them were just going to run away anyways by hopping past us. And that's it? Okay. So, not any kind of maze, really. What the? What's wrong? This used to be the village of the kobolds. But all the kobolds are gone. Except this one. Kuromimi. Wow. You humans took my friends. No forgive. No forgive. But no time now. Kuromimi must fix everyone's sickness. He said something about his friends being taken and everyone being sick? Something must have happened here. Let's hurry to my village. Maybe they know something. The village of the Elves is just south of here. Well, let's diligently search and see if there's anyone we can recruit. Probably not yet. But, as we learned in Chrono Cross, you got a big cast in your role-playing game. Big recruitable cast. You should keep an eye out for anyone who puts up a portrait. As odds are decent, you're either going to fight alongside them or kill them. So we have the, dog-style kobolds. Yeah, it's, trying to think. Dark Souls 2 has sort of mammalian kobolds. They're not nearly so cute. They're a weird incidental enemy. Just running around in the tall grass outside of Drangle Castle. Oof. Oh, that looked much worse than it was, than it turned out to be. Gnolls, I think, are my, as an antagonist at least, Gnolls are my favorite of your standard D&D humanoid monsters. Precisely because hyenas are, oh damn, Gremio's down. And I'm hurting. So I will, we should actually take some actions here. Like, for example, I'll use the Finger of Death rune. See if we can take out the mage kobold in the back there. What does Kirkus have? The Fire rune. Could not hurt to, yeah. Go hard here. What does Eileen have? The Earth rune. Raise defense, or within presumably some kind of earthquake, do a bunch of damage to everyone. I want to hang on to that. And then some drops of kindness. Ooh, what's Flood of Kindness? Of course. It's exactly what you might expect if you extrapolated from what drops of kindness is. Hopefully you don't get the bad ending by abusing the instant kill rune. I don't get the impression that to the extent that I don't even know if there are multiple enemies. But if there are, I'm going to bet they're based more on recruitment rates. And we'll see. I'm optimistic about doing pretty well at party maxing. At Liberation Army maxing. Oh, you know what? It'd also free up an inventory slot to heal Gremio again. Is that the Elves' village? Is it a big tree? There's only one way to find it. Success. It auto-saved, but nonetheless. Let's use the real save. Alas, that's not also an instant rest item. Boom. That's enough. Listen to me. I will not be ignored. Listen to you, eh? Never knew you humans were capable of intelligent conversation. So what do you have to say? Have you come up with a way of wiping us out with those tiny brains of yours? Kwanda certainly has. He's planning something terrible. Not only will he wipe out you elves, he intends to burn down this entire forest, which also happens to be my home. As if you humans were ever capable of such a thing. Heh, lock this one up in prison. Hold on. They think that humans aren't capable of just starting a forest fire? Kind of feels like your contempt for humans is going in the wrong direction if it's telling you that they can't light a forest fire. Well, I'm going to put my marker down. I feel like that Valeria is going to join the liberation. The dwarf mines lie to the north. Kwanda Rosman's castle to the south. Both are after our lands. Elves and dwarves. Name a more iconic duo of folks who just can't get along. Oh, my wounds. They did this to me. Yeah, he'd respect us more if we seem like the type who engage in clear cutting and wanton arson. What's this place? What did I just come into? Nah, I've got nothing to sell to you humans, but Kirkus can buy something if he wants. Shouldn't you, like, harden your heart to Kirkus since he brought humans into your village or something? Do you think our beautiful armor would suit humans? Yeah, why not? It's just the exact same armor that they sell everywhere else. Nonetheless, in the spirit of cultural respect, we won't profane their elven armor by putting it on our human bodies. I don't think I have anything new to do here. Nah. Looking forward to playing some more Blueprints tomorrow. I was sad to have to take the week off last week. On the whole, for the best. Not just because, spent time with partner on her birthday, but also, like, even the part that we had planned to spend apart while I was streaming. I think it was better for me to be there. We're having a... I don't want to talk about it, so I'll just say Abra is having some troubles. It could go either way. We don't know. It's tough. It's tough to see her like that. She's not suffering, but she's not doing well. Kirkus, you've returned. How was it? What? The help of humans? Oh, cool. When you say your notes, yeah, like they've built their treetop village in the most prominent tree of the Great Forest. And like those big, presumably when you scale it up in your mind, like that ladder hanging down to the ground, it's going to be pretty big. Kwanda lives in the Panu Yakura castle, south of this forest. Next time, we'll be the ones to attack. Oh, wow. I just go for plain dense in my playthroughs. Did you know those creatures up north called Dwarves snatch up elves and eat us? Sounds terrifying. Sounds like a blood libel, but I don't know. We'll find out. We elves will never lose, unlike those grubby dwarves and stupid kobolds. I went in here already, right? Did I? Easy to find out. Now, with my husband round, we guardians of the forest will never be beaten. Kwanda lives in Panoyakara Castle, south of this fort. Oh, yes, okay. Perhaps I only spoke to one of them? Or just forgot that dialogue? Who knows? Kirkus, why did you leave me alone? I was so lonely. No, I didn't mean to leave you. How terrible of you, going off on your own. You should have taken me with you. Was it fun out there? No, I mean, I didn't go out there to have fun. I couldn't take you because it was too dangerous. Well, of course. Hey, Kirkus, did you do something bad? Grandpa looks really upset. Excuse us, bigoted old elf. Kirkus, why did you leave without my consent? What were you doing out there? There are those amongst the humans who are fighting the Empire as well. I left to get help from them, from the Liberation Army, to protect the village of the Elves. Protect this village? What are you talking about? We don't need the help of humans to protect this village. True, for a time, it seemed we were losing ground to Kwanda's soldiers, but they're just humans, after all. They've ceased their attacks of late. But be quiet, Kirkus. Not only did you leave the village without my permission, but you dare to return with these loathsome humans. Throw them all in prison. Yes, Chief. What? Why? Why, Grandpa? Why are you arresting Kirkus? Well, he seems to have a general carceral approach to policy questions. Whoa! Well, look who it is. It's that coward who fled the minute he found out the Imperials were attacking. Wait, you don't remember me? It's Stallion, the greatest runner this village ever seen. Doesn't that ring a bell? You should have seen how quickly I ran when that bastard Kwanda attacked. Ha ha! Righto. Who are you? The Liberation Army? You came here to help save the elves. Glad to know I'm not the only fool here. You're wearing an Imperial uniform. That's right. I'm a fool too. I risked my life to betray the Empire, and now look where I am. How can these elves be so stubborn? They refuse to listen to a word I say. What were you trying to tell them? It was about the General Kwanda Rosman, who's in charge of this region. He's constructed a terrible weapon to completely wipe out the elves and put an end to their constant rebellions. A terrible weapon? What is it? I don't know much, but it's called the Burning Mirror. They say it can burn down an entire forest in an instant. Such a weapon would not only destroy the elves, but also the village where I was born. That's why I came here. I meant to warn the elves so they could prevent this burning mirror from being completed. I suppose we're just like, it's like hollowed out inside the tree. Presumably. Or it's so far down that we're in the root system of the tree. But before you knew it, you were in this prison. Time goes by. Got some new dialogue, Stallion? No. We could use a great runner in the Liberation Army. If we need to send news of a glorious victory in some battle. There's no time to waste sitting around here. This is what I get for trusting elves. Well. Creaking. Who's there? Sylvina. Grandpa said I shouldn't come to see you, but there's something I have to ask. What is it? Tell me, Kirkus, why are you so attached to humans? Despite their arrogance, the average human will be dead after a mere 50 years. Why bother with such creatures? 50 years, my goodness. Above and beyond the current, weakness of the Empire leading to the capture by the Vizier and stuff. Seems like there's some real administrative problems if we have a life expectancy of about 50 years in the Empire. Yeah, like how on earth can you get a average human lifespan in your territory down that low and maintain an empire? You'd think there'd be constant rebellions. Dead after a mere 50 years? That's harsh. Sylvina, listen to me. Sure, humans hate dwarves and us elves. And sure, we look down on humans and the dwarves detest us. But isn't it sad? After all, what difference is there between us? Why can't we just get along? I just don't understand it. It's really sad. AJ Soprano here. Kirkus? I'm sorry, Kirkus. I just don't get what you're saying. I don't understand it. I don't trust humans, and dwarves scare me. But I believe in you, and I believe in what you believe in. I will do my best to believe. Sylvina. Here, this is the key to your prison cell. Do you think I'll end up here just for doing this? Ha ha! I, Stallion, will show you how fast I can flee. Impressive. Come on, Kirkus. You've got to run. Although probably not as fast as Stallion. No, I can't flee. I've got to do something about the burning mirror that Valeria warned us about. Did you come up with something? I may have an idea. Commander James, if we travel northeast from this village, we'll find the mine where the dwarves live. They should know something. Let's ask them for help. Yeah, that's a good idea. Agreed. If we don't hurry, the damage will be irreparable. We must do something to prevent the burning mirror from being completed. Kirkus, you're visiting the dwarves? I heard they eat elves. Those are the exact kind of prejudices we need to overcome. Let's go, Commander James. Well, hold on. There's no time to waste sitting around here. That's what I get for trusting elves. Hurry, Kirkus. If they find you, they'll be angry. Well, unless that's an extremely tall implied staircase. I think the prison is like it's supposed to be hollowed out inside the tree, but we're clearly in a platform, so I don't know. Some real architectural questions here. Commander James, please take me with you. I want to protect this forest. Valeria is joining the party. Please remove a party member. Well, it would be great to have some information about Valeria before I make a decision here. Oh well. I think, guess I'll send Eileen out. Kirkis? Do you want to come along, Sylvina? You're welcome to join this time. I'm going to stay. I'll be waiting here for you, Kirkis. Promise me you'll return. Swear it. I swear it. I'll come back for you. I won't make you sad ever again. Don't forget your promise. Okay. Well, let's find out. Valeria is a short-range character. Yeah. That's what it looked like in her sprite. And given that she's short range, now we've got a front line. However, all right. This is not wise in any way. Fortunately, they don't have a good APB system in the tiny tree village here. So, okay. Very few options presently available. Now scram, he says. And to be fair, we really ought to scram in this particular case. Okay. Well, anybody else holding any armor that they could pass along that might help? I don't think bandana is better than headband. I guess I might as well check, but I do not think it is. Well, it can't be. +1 can't be more. It can be equivalent, but not better. Okay. In a world where I had gotten into streaming earlier in life, it would have been tricky because here's a weird thing about my relationship with my best friend Rich, which is that I actually, with some obvious restrictions, like how Friday Night Frosthaven is usually like a 90-minute affair these days, I see Rich, and I spend a lot more time with Rich now when he has 2 children than we did in the, like, you know, the heyday of our youth when he was a workaholic, constantly putting all sorts of pressure on himself to overperform at work. Okay, here we go. Our first fight with Valeria in tow. Perhaps I should have stayed at the inn. Really going all out in terms of something. Oh yeah. Stretching our luck with this escape. One downside, I just realized, sending Eileen away, I had given her the fire room. She was the best candidate for it, so it's not that big a deal. I thought that Victor was in trouble, but he is not. Okay. Ooh, the Falcon rune does triple damage. Well, that should have done that in the first round, but I'm going to feel confident that this probably gets the job done. Nice. And it looked cool. Valeria does seem to be not wearing greaves, leg armor of any kind. Except, like, she has boots. But even the boots only look like they're knee highs. Like they're below the knee. Nonetheless, from the waist up, she is a properly armored soldier. And, you know, the hero is wearing a very similar top hanging down. And then just loose yellow pants. So probably... It's not too bad. Is this far enough northeast? Or is this going in the wrong direction? No, the Dwarf Trail. That's a good sign. Stray Dwarves. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much tension with the collected dwarves. That we're just killing our way through the forest here. All right, everyone's kind of beat up in the front row. Probably not time for Flood of Kindness yet. It's good to know it's there. But yeah, had I started streaming much younger, I would have perhaps, I guess we would have to also add the caveat of, if I started streaming much younger and Rich had somehow achieved his later work-life balance earlier, my most information-dense streaming idea ever was to have Rich play Dark Souls while I coach him and then otherwise provide commentary on the lore and mechanics and inspirations and whatnot. Hey, Mom, welcome! Happy Saturday! We are making our way up the dwarf path, the dwarf trail. See if we can get a diverse resistance force assembled. It is not super visually clear where you can and cannot step. Oh wait, okay, yes it is. You just literally can't go on the green grass. Martial arts robe. That sounds promising for somebody. Who got it? Valeria. Who had... I don't feel like she won't be able to equip it. She can. How about that? Take it then. Because even with it, she has the lowest frontline defense in the party. Left or right? Oh, good. A sacrificial Buddha. Oh, cool. So I guess whoever's holding it is probably how that item works. Oh. And yet we have the option to let them go. Let's go ahead and do that. Simply on the grounds that maybe if we're going to be meeting enemy parties that large, I should spend down a bit more of my medicine budget. Well, geez. I have lots of medicine, and yet now I look at it and I think, I wish I had more medicine. I'm going to hope that this way... That's a lot of medicine. For sure. Ah, you know what? Okay. Let's do it this way, just in case. I'm not sure about our outlook for getting these dudes with single shots. Not sure about the boar. We fought boars before, I think. Okay, so no. Ooh. Okay, not great. But hopefully, maybe it is time for me to think about... Oh, Kirkus is the one with the fire ring. Excellent. Still too early for Firestorm, though. Maybe I'm being a fool. Oh no. If an additional 200 damage to that wild boar didn't dig it down, I am definitely not, I have not planned for enough damage output here. Probably not going to take out a single boar, even in this round. Oh, thank goodness. So is the Falcon Rune really as absurdly generous as it kind of seems? Like you can just use it every... You can just do triple damage with Valeria every turn with no trade-offs? Was that Kirkus who just gets an additional target with his bow? Give old Gremio the distinct honor of helping the hero. Ah, we don't need it. But I appreciate how the game queues up your healing, so it happens. Even when the battle resolves. Pretty good eye, right? I noticed a couple of pixels. Okay. And then... hoping... Oh, wait. We need to heal a bit more. Yikes. Well, we're making lots of potch, which is good. So we're going to have a lot of medicine to buy to replenish. Guard road. Intriguing. Boosts magic, hey? Let's pass that over to Kirkus. Great. So when he does bust out Firestorm, it'll be a little more powerful than otherwise would have been. And now we're climbing the mountain. So far, the whole dungeon has just been the base of the mountain. And here we go. Okay. Instead of spreading out attacks, let's go right ahead and just pound on this one with the front row, and then have the range fighters in the back row. Oh, except for Gremio, who's only medium. Get started on the dwarf. Okay, not bad. Yeah, weird. I guess the trade-off could just be like maybe Valeria doesn't stick with the party. I don't know. So just, why would you ever choose just to fight, except that you weren't paying that much attention? You want to do 1x damage or triple damage? Oof. The hero's down. We don't feel great about it. You're never happy when it's never a great feeling when the long range fighter just drifts into the front row. All right, Gremio, stay alive. You must live to see the young master back on his feet. Great. This'll do it for him. Or her. Probably him. Great. I am very much in favor of overpowered, strong lady characters in RPGs. So it works for me. She's even leveled ahead of us. It's all that Imperial training. Alright, used up a whole medicine stack there. Or, what was left of it. It was already in progress. But... oh, good. Let's let him go. Another luck rune piece. How lucky can we make this hero? And how much will it matter? Alright, 1 second here. Gotta pour a glass of water. Gotta stay hydrated. Okay. Boom. And nice. NCE. Dwarf very stingy. Keep sickness cure a secret, but Kuromimi won't give up. Wait, that kobold? All of you, no forgive. But Kuromimi busy now. Wait, hold on. Perhaps we'll... that's probably the next leg of the journey, right? Okay. I feel like there's probably not a big boss fight against the dwarves here, but if there turns out to be, I will learn my lesson and heal up when we reload the save. Is this? Yep. The village of the dwarves. It's got kind of like a steampunk feel. Oh my, that's quite something for humans to make it all the way here. What should dwarves talk like? I don't want to go with the obvious scratchy throat voice, because whenever Vargas gets too much dialogue, I'm fucking up my larynx anyway. Oh, spending the night here, better not break the bed. That'll be 200 potch per person. I should be able to do that. Unless I've... it might not be surprise you to hear. I'm the kind of GM who, when I run Call of Cthulhu, I go long on the terrible Southie. Hold on. Do you also come eat alone from us? Like that blacksmith? Turtle Orb prevents status ailments. Cool. Okay, hold on. What's the situation? Should we be getting more medicine right now? Everyone's got at least some. I'll hold off. Hey, wait. Are you one of those humans or whatever? Hey, you've been upgrading your weapons? If you don't keep up with that, you'll pay for it down the road. I don't know. I heard an Imperial general named Kwanda is attacking the village of the Elves. Serves him right for always making fun of us. If one of these dwarves could just talk about parking his minecart in the yard, it would really help me key in. Do you think our wonderful armor would suit humans? We dwarves are proud of our great vault. You can see it just north of here. I'm gonna have to do like a nanny marathon for the next time I try to do Jamie. Why are the kobolds so subservient to the Empire? They attack us so indiscriminately. Yeah. We can get a like a bigotry bonding thing going on here. We all agree that humans muck up our armor. Oh, but hey, look, the elves and the humans and the dwarves all agree that the kobolds have nasty dog breath. But the kobolds and the elves and the humans can all agree that the dwarves are, you know, horrible calloused hands. We'll figure this out. What would you like appraised? What would you like appraised? There. Now appraising. The results are in. It's graffiti. Oh, wait. You can sell right to the appraiser. But of course... What? You never heard of Banksy? The elves definitely seem like they could be the kind of, have that kind of blinkered, you know. One thing that really sets elves apart is the tradition of the buttered roll. I remember reading that in like the New York Times or something once. New Yorkers, just one thing about New Yorkers that just, you don't understand if you're not from New York is the joy of getting a buttered roll. That's a really basic baked good and the standard thing to put on it all over the place. So the armor these guys are selling. Armor. Yeah, I can't get the queens out. I need gotta go back and rewatch episode 3 of The Nanny. Episode 3, season 1. They felt so strongly that they'd you know established the Fran Fine character that they did a My Fair Lady plot in episode 3 of the first season. So there's actually a point where Fran Drescher does a Kennedy, like a Boston accent impression. Super helpful to me. Okay. I mean, everyone in the front row needs more good stuff. I think, though, for now, I'm going to go with Valeria for this. Because what the hero does still have going for him. Can Victor carry it? Yes. Oh, would anyone benefit from a chest plate? No, it doesn't look like it. The... Okay. Let's sell the chest plate. Oh, and the bandana. Okay. What's the most cost-effective way to, let's see, 7 on Valeria for a half helmet, or 8 for a fur cape, which is actually, pardon me, cheaper. So, and that might free up the martial arts robe for somebody. Oh, wait. No, it won't, because fur cape is an accessory. But that's why it's so beneficial, because she was not using her accessory slots at all yet. Oh, wait. If a feather isn't equipable, we picked up another feather. Perfect. I think a half helmet for Cleo is our next best option for, yeah, affordable improvements. Because Cleo has been hatless up to this point. Every millennial in the chat just immediately, I hope he throw his hatless butt in jail. Why are the kobolds so subservient to the Empire? They attack us so indiscriminately. To give an idea of exactly how atrocious of a Sothi accent I'm talking about using in my... well, this is obviously who we need to talk to. So let's hit the rest of the place first. To give you an idea of exactly how atrocious of a Sothi accent, how like brutally cartoonish I'm talking about, one of the ways that I hone in on the voice, if you've ever seen Clone High, it's by doing the from the My Fair Lady plot line where JFK tries to train Gandhi to be like a mini JFK. He's teaching him dialect. For supper, I want a patty platter. Just terrible. I'm gonna study hard, be smarter than the elves or humans. And yet, there you go, see? I'm gonna be strong. Strong enough to beat elves and humans. We ate the elves, and they look down on us. Been that way for so long, no one can even remember how it all started. Perfect. Yeah. Now we're feeling it. According to my research, things known as runes are the fundamental power of this world. Well, how do you like them apples? This guy's doing his own research, and it's actually leading him to correct conclusions that he could have just learned in 5 seconds by reading a book and trusting the experts. Oh, my, what rare visitors. Humans and elves together? What brings you to the dwarf mines? Chief of the dwarves, we have come to ask a favor of you. A proud elf asking a dwarf for a favor? Chief, I am sure you are familiar with the Burning Mirror. Oh, well, of course I am. It's one of our treasures. Kwanda Rosman has gotten a hold of the mirror's blueprints, and he plans to burn down the forest. Oh, how delightful. Hopefully he burns all the filthy elves to death in the process. How could you say such a thing? Besides, you expect me to believe some dim-witted humans managed to steal the blueprints from us? But it's the truth. A man named Kage stole the blueprints, or possibly Cage. Oh, in that case, why don't you give it a try? Prove to me you humans are capable of breaking into our vault and stealing our blueprints. Alright, we'll give it a try. Oh, this should be entertaining. Try to steal the flowing water cane from our vault. Do that, and I'll believe you. The vault is located just north of this village. It was too large to be built here. Oh, here. Here. No. My nanny rewatch has now made it up to season 4. And, boy, to the, like... You would think... Yeah. Their security's so good that they cannot, unfortunately. And, so, like, think about the nanny in the early seasons is that, like, the scripts vary greatly in quality, but the core, like, classic sitcom style of, like, you know, our plot, like, you know what you're getting, and, like, all the characters, you know who they are, and the one-liners are usually on point. Like I said, scripts vary, but you really, there's a real established formula. And then at the end of season 3, they kick a, like, we really get the you know, the myth arc, the real plot of the nanny going, because Mr. Sheffield briefly confesses his love to Fran when the plane that they're on seems like it's going to crash. And then when it doesn't, he gets cold feet and takes it back. And then, because it's a sitcom still, like, very little forward momentum, but, like, the aftermath of that is season 4. And, like, Fran is getting much more overt about, like, trying to get him to marry her. And it leads to some real weird, it feels much different from just fun plots about Fran Fine being the nanny. And yet it's still, there's good stuff. There's an absolutely, like, I'm continually shocked that my mother, I watched this with my mother when I was a child. They did a thing where, in one of the most recent episodes I watched, they were going to have sex, and then Gracie, the youngest kid, gives Fran this unrelated speech at her bedtime about how change can be scary, and if you make a big change and then you don't like it but you can't go back, that'd be bad. And it gives Fran cold feet. And so she goes back and she's like, you know, maybe we don't, whatever. And then they decide, you know what, let's just play ping pong. And then they start playing ping pong, and maybe this is even, like, clipped on YouTube somewhere, because, like, holy shit, what a sequence. They're just playing ping pong, and at the first they're just going, and, like, chuckling a little and having fun. And then the gag of the scene is that as the ping pong gets more intense, their, like, grunts and their vocalizations, you know, become sexual until it's not something I'm going to do an impression of, but it was very funny. Not one of the, like, I would say it's a solid, like, next tier sitcom of the 90s. The great sitcom, in my view, the great 90s sitcoms. Depending on whether we count animated shows. If it's animated shows, there's 5 great ones, because I think King of the Hill, The Simpsons, King of the Hill and The Simpsons would definitely belong in the pantheon of great 90s sitcoms, if indeed we're going to count animated sitcoms. And then I think the three great live action ones in the traditional form of the 90s are Seinfeld, Frasier, and Third Rock from the Sun, in my view. The Nanny's a solid show. And, obviously, caused at least some significant level of psychic damage to me when I was a child, for better or for worse. It left an impact. Chief told me everything. There's no way an elf can crack the security of that vault. Well, it'll definitely be at least a little bit easier if the main guard isn't going to try to resist us. So thank you. When we get down here and there's like a really simple switch puzzle or something, I'll be happy. I like simple little switch puzzles, but it'll also be funny. Oh, hey, what do you know? Okay. All right. And if this just does the other two, okay. Is the solution to the puzzle to press all three switches? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's this kind of puzzle. I just wasn't paying close enough attention when I flipped the switch. Oh, wait, no. Okay. So it's just going to be the order and whether different switches cause... There. Oh, and then we just walk. Those are just like the gates. Oh, there's more that we can't even see. Sunbeam orb. I wonder what that one does. Oh. Automatic healing. Cool. That might be a good one for Gremio, who's constantly getting whomped on. Hold on, I had one other one, didn't I? Well, the Pharaoh orb that we haven't even used yet. The Killer orb increases critical hit rate. That might be a good one for Victor. I guess it would depend how greatly it increases critical hit rate. Because, obviously, he has the option of doing double damage every other round, which is not more cumulative damage. But it is faster damage. In fact, I think I've talked myself into it. Okay. So... let's see. Not yet. And definitely not now. Maybe. Nope. It's not obvious to me what the mechanism is here. Like what's doing what. But let's try a few different things. Okay. If I just hit that one, we can't get much further. If I hit that one and this one, cannot get any further. I feel like I've already done these two in conjunction. Okay. Actually going to need to think a little bit. And I am not prepared to do that yet. I've got to run to the washroom. Take a brief intermission. And we'll get back at it very soon. So hang tight, gang. And I'll be right back with you. And we're back. Okay. Time to think. I gotta be able to solve this puzzle. Or else we're absolutely doomed tomorrow when I return to blueprints. Okay. First, I'm gonna press only the middle lever once. And let's see. Okay. Now if I press it again, I assume we're just back to normal? Hold on. That seemed kind of promising. Yep, okay. I did not have to think. I should have to try a different order. Obviously, the thing there is that each lever has some number of ones that it will raise and some number of ones that it will lower. It's not complex enough to require... Yeah. Exactly. But by having the dial turn to 3 when you first see it, they mess with your brain. Death machines. Well, let's fight the death machines. Try it first. Oh, sweet. Wow. Still, I don't know when I'm even going to get to check Monster Train 2 out. Sometime. But right now, I have to temporarily slow down my video game spending since at some point I'm going to want to switch to. Hey, not bad, really. The big scheme of things. I'll decide to do it for this one. Alright. The death machines hit hard, but they also die pretty easily. Got a bunch of level ups. The ultimate security of this vault is just the hope that at some point on your way down, you stop and you think about climbing back up all these fucking stairs, and you're just like, you know what? Let's just go home. Our ultra secure vault has a few, low rate storage units, safe deposit boxes that you could put your oh ho, magic robe is quite a defensive item, it seems. Should probably, okay, hold on. What are the current defensive stats? I'm gonna give it to the hero if he can use it. Here, Kyrgyz, hold this. Great. Will anyone benefit from inheriting the leather armor? I can't remember. +7 and boost magic versus +14. But boost magic is probably more important. Oof. One death machine down. Whoops. Never makes sense to have Valeria attack. Unless I one day, for some reason, decide to give her a different room. Bunch of level ups. As long as you're persistently leveling up, it's a pretty good sign that you should keep on actually fighting the battles. Anyway, yeah, congratulations on reaching the end game, which I will assume, but request that you not confirm, is killing God again. It's a great premise for a game. For some reason, you're riding a triple-decker train through out of a frozen hellscape to ascend and kill God. Blue ribbon. Sounds like an accessory. Defense +6. Well. If Kirkus can equip it, we'll give it to him. He cannot equip it. So, we'll just keep passing it around until we find someone who can. How about you, Cleo? Yes, great. And onward. My favorite faction in the original Monster Train is definitely, I think, like, if I thought about it, I could remember their actual name. I call them the Candlemen because, you know, the melting remnant, the melting faction, something like that. They're a lot of fun gameplay wise and aesthetically. Melting remnant, yeah. Will this one take me over to the treasure? No, but this one might. Excellent. Ooh, another lightning rune piece. To get James's lightning bow staff even more lightninged up. Wait, yeah, obviously that's just going to go here. Hold on. Did I not use one of these options? Yeah. That and the reforming mechanic. It was definitely the one I had the most fun with. It's ultimately like, I really, really like Monster Train. And in fact, like, I think it's in my top 10 hour, like, time spent on Switch games. But I don't like it anywhere near as much as I like Slay the Spire. So I haven't been as inclined to revisit it. Just because they do scratch fairly similar itches. It's weird, because they're both like deck builders with roguelite mechanics. Except that Slay the Spire's core mechanic is just like RPG combat. And Monster Train is more like tower defense. Okay, good. I was hoping that would finish it off so that maybe Can Valeria one-shot them? Yes, she can. Perfect. Yeah, it really is. I still haven't played the tabletop Slay the Spire yet. Okay, so that is +5. Valeria would benefit from a pointy hat if she can equip it. Really feels like we should be encountering some enemies that cause the balloon status sometime soon. She can't equip it. And and everyone else is pointy hatted up. Okay. Oh. It's one we can consume immediately. Who is our Dex Master? Oh, go figure. It's the elf. Well, in the spirit of cross-cultural respect, we'll honor the dexterous tradition of the elves by giving the Dex rune piece to the elf. More medicine. And on we go. Oh, gotta solve some more basic puzzles. Beep, boop, boop, beep, 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 boop, boop. Beep, boop, boop, beep, 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 boop, boop. So which one of these is the beep switch? Beep, boop, boop, beep, 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 boop. Now the flaw in that security system is that there's a giant placard telling you how to disarm it. It's not even hidden. Yeah, that is a very ableist security system. That is a security system that can only thwart the hard of hearing and people with tone deafness. Okay. Here's a big ol' fight. Probably worth busting out. Probably, except honestly, I get the feeling that probably they even did like braille runes on that placard. I have a hard time imagining any kind of like. Oh wow, that feels like it must be a translation issue. You know what? A little fog of deception might be good in this big fight. First use of Firestorm. Looks cool. Although it does seem like these enemies might have some fire resistance, so that didn't do anywhere near the promised damage. Nonetheless, one round of getting whomped on by the death machines, and then we'll take them down and be on our way. Mega medicine, not bad. Okay, again. Feel like I shouldn't use up another mass damage charge just yet. Especially since that is what I gave up when I sent Eileen away. She had the Earth Rune. Oh, damn it. I really thought that... Damn, so close, too. Really thought Valeria would have had it with one shot. But that's okay. We took one hit. We will easily win here. Okay, let's use some of the prodigious medicine supplies we have, just in case we're about to walk into a boss fight. One problem with the physical defense mechanisms as a means of guarding your supposedly impregnable vault is the rate at which people improve in the Suikoden universe. Like the first couple times... Oh, we're getting complex here. Nah, let him go. Really, given that we are... this is a test assigned to us by the chief of the dwarves, he really should have had his own people stand down. So that we aren't killing them. That's a really good sign. If Valeria can pull this off. Perfect. Very nice. Now there's something you probably shouldn't be storing in your impregnable vault. Okay, hold on. Tough to say which of these is the way forward. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, it's another one of those things where, like, in some games, like, you know, surviving the expedition is so much part of the challenge. Love or hate the original Final Fantasy. But if you could just leave, like, the marsh cave, everyone's poisoned, but you found the crown. This is an iconic childhood memory for me. The first time that I got out of that cave with the crown was one poisoned character still alive, and I went directly to the north, like, so naive. I was just like, I better return this cat right away. We're not going back to the elf city to heal. We're going right north to the northwest castle to return this crown to the man who had it stolen from him by Astos. Oh no, the man who lives alone in a ruined castle to the northwest is not some king. It's this guy Astos, and he is killing me in a single shot because I have one hit point. And the more fool me. Here we go. Gigantes. Yeah. See, I don't think as an adult I would have fallen for it. Because it is heavily foreshadowed, including the fact that the king in the Northwest Castle has green skin. And especially if you owned Final Fantasy on the Nintendo Entertainment System as a kid, it came with a big foldout where you could see all the enemies. I knew that Astos was a weird green guy. Kind of, not like, he didn't look at all like this Gigantes, but a similar idea of like a floating torso man with long arms. Just he didn't have the cool upside down genie torso. Alright, hopefully Cleo acts fast enough here. With the drops of kindness. that Valeria doesn't get taken out. Because she is our big damage doer, especially if this Gigantes is going to be immune to fire. But then, like, especially like a lot of open world RPGs, in the more modern age, there's so many dungeons, and perhaps a lot of them are procedurally generated and dull. Yes, you simply must give me an in-game mechanism to quickly leave these dungeons. It's not a different strokes scenario anymore at that point. It's just objectively worse to not offer it. I like in the original Wizardry, when you finally get the teleport spell. It's actually not that hard. No, actually, I can't remember. In Wizardry 1, can you just teleport up one more floor than there is in the dungeon and get back to the castle? Or do you have to like aim yourself to land next to the exit? Because the thing with the teleport spell in the original Wizardry is you have to tell it, I want to teleport this many floors up or down. Yeah, this many floors up or down, and then this many coordinates, north, south, and east, west. With the important caveat that if you teleport yourself into a wall, your party is immediately lost forever and can never be retrieved. An extremely realistic but harsh punishment. It's up there for sure. Well, yeah, and I started watching your review video, and you were playing the NES version where the critical bug is that they forgot to make armor work, if I remember correctly. That would make it extra hard. And also, here's the thing. When I played the DOS version. I think it was from like a later 80s collection, but it was just the DOS version. And the critical bug in that one is that instead of your stat changes on level up being keyed to what your character's stats are, so like their prime, their higher stats are more likely to go up, and the weaker stats are more likely to go down, and their in the middle stats that are closer to 10 are supposed to be more likely to stay the same. In original Wizardry for DOS, it's a 1/3 chance each way. Oh, do tell. How good is this Flood of Kindness? We only get one. Not yet. Might not even need it. This boss fight seems to be going pretty well. In fact, I think this guy must be weak to the lightning element. Or I misread the numbers that came up. Perfect. Boom. Beautifully done. Oh, wow. Stack underflow. The only exploit that my original Wizardry playthrough involved, I never actually did the exploiting part. But after the first time I got to Werdna, the final boss, and got my party killed, and like, you can never retrieve a party that gets killed by the final boss, except by beating the final boss with a different party. So they're just gone. After that happened, when I went to go fight him with my second party that I was ready to make the expedition, I backed up the save, and then I never restored it because I won. And as armor class did not play a factor. The key thing for me beating Werdna was that my samurai had the Masamune sword and acted first in the round and killed Werdna with a single attack. So he never got to do tilt-a-weight on us and destroy us all. 84, 87, 96. 96 is the winner. Victor. You get more prot. Which is presumably protect. Ah. I'm not sure if that would work or not. But just... Oh, I mean, I'm sure it does in the NES. I'm not sure if it does in the DOS version, but what definitely does work in the DOS version is just absolutely butchering him with a samurai sword. His greatest weakness, just being disemboweled. Flowing water cane. Excellent. I think this is a great time to use an escape talisman. What are your thoughts on us beating you? Nothing. Ha! Did that enable him to achieve victory? Okay. Yeah, because I think the way you get like victory is an item drop. The real kicker for me was that I killed Werdna first attack of the first round, but his party of support is made up of a combination of vampires and vampire lords, which of course the vampires have level drain and the vampire lords have super level drain, where a single attack from them drains you 2 levels. And so I beat Werdna and then lost a collective like 9 levels from my game-winning party before we actually closed out the fight and won. And the impact of that was nothing for me because I'd won and I was done. But if you actually wanted to play Wizardry 2, Wizardry 2 doesn't have a built-in character creator, and it is scaled so that dungeon level 1 of Wizardry 2 is harder than the end dungeon level. And so if I had if I wanted to go on with my winning party, I probably would have had to just grind for several hours to get those levels back, while hoping that I didn't get bad stat rolls and wind up making my characters worse. It's a... Yeah. Nice, huh? Okay. Maz thinks you're alright, then you're alright in my book too. I'll help you out. Put me in charge of all your weapons. Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll go tell the chief of the dwarves I'm leaving. After that, I'll head to Odessa Castle. I can't remember, but I feel like there was an auto escape that didn't even require you to cast a spell, but I could be wrong about that. That sounds right. But it's only like... The thing is, once you know the dungeon of Wizardry, it's like a very, very small amount of steps between the entrance of the dungeon and Werdna's level. But yeah. I feel like a bug... I don't know. I haven't checked out that remake they made. Yes, exactly. Once you've solved the elevator puzzle, then it's very easy to make your way down. Did I pick up something to be appraised? No, I'm still just thinking of that painting from before. And the dwarves probably don't have a rune shop. Sir. Young man, please. Makes sense. Yeah, I've never checked out Wizardry 2 or 3. Wizardry 3 also doesn't have a character creator, but it does reset your characters to level 1. So you can just create characters in Wizardry 1 and import them right away to play Wizardry 3. But yeah, the only ones that I've played in the series, besides Wizardry Gaiden 4 for the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, I've played 1 and 5 of the mainline series. With 5, it was kind of funny because they advertised it as a complete reimagining of the classic wizardry system. And then you fire it up and it's like, wow, they're making a game in the late 1980s and it looks exactly like the original games, like the first 3. But then it turns out they actually did make a lot of changes to the system. It's a much better game. You're right. Yes, I shouldn't have undersold that. Wizardry Gaiden 4. Throb of the Demon's Heart. Just a superb subtitle. I can't believe it. You actually managed to break into our vault. Fine then, I'll believe your story. The Burning Mirror is a devastating weapon, but it can be shattered in an instant if you use another one of our treasures, the Firewind Cannon. Then why didn't you send us to get that from the vault? I'll have one built for you immediately. We thank you, Chief of the Dwarves. Commander James, let's return to the village to deliver the news. I'm certain the Chief of the Elves will believe us now. But why? Why do you think that, Kirkus? I mean, perhaps he will, but we haven't actually garnered any proof. Yeah, he didn't send us with anything. Yeah, I read that quite recently. Like literally almost just before I started playing this. I read a review, like a spoiler-free review of the remake package. And a thing that it mentioned was like, these games were very respectful of players' time. Like, they're not all that long. And I thought, like, we stole this cane from the Dwarf Vault. We gave it back to them so we don't have it, but, like, we could describe it to you. And surely that will convince you that you should ally with 2 separate sets of people who you are racist against. Ultima 4, it's hard for me to say because I hit a point where, like, I was trying to figure out, like, how to play Ultima games still at the time when I first played Ultima 4, and I wound up cracking and getting a fair bit of guidance for the more esoteric scavenger hunt elements. Oh, sweet. Cool. Wait. I mean, not sweet. This is bad, but it's still effective. So yeah, so like my playthrough was pretty reasonable in length, but like, yeah, some of those battles are just torturously endless. Whereas Ultima 5... Wait, is that smoke? No, sorry. What I'm seeing is fire more. I can't be sure. Is that because we're standing in front of you, Gremio? Because this seems crystal clear. It's coming from the village of the Elves. It can't be. We're too late. No, that's impossible. Commander James, let's hurry. It doesn't strike me as impossible. Feels like the truth of the matter staring us right in the face. Yeah. Whoops. I knew that was a branching path. We're just going south to get out of here. Like, especially when you're telling a story about straight up war and imperialism, it's kind of like a pretty reasonable trope to have in there. Oh my goodness. And in the spirit of understanding, we're not going to just butcher these kobolds on the way. Burnt village of the elves. This is terrible. How horrifying! All our efforts. That's right. They were in vain. Everything we did was in vain. But why? Why? Please tell me, Commander James, what was the point of it all? How could this happen? We did everything we could. We were ridiculed and mocked, but still we didn't lose heart, and yet... Kirkus! Yet nothing. Nothing remains. Everything I tried to protect is gone. I meant to give this ring to Silvina once everything was over. Poor Silvina. Now this ring is useless, robbed of ever knowing the touch of her finger. There's nothing left for me now. Kirkus, this ring is your hope. You must never lose hope. All it takes is a little hope for us to keep going. Same goes for both humans and elves. Gramiel. Young master, let's return to the castle. We must never allow a tragedy like this to be repeated. We must defeat Kwanda Rosman's army and destroy the burning mirror. That's the only way we're getting out of this. Let's go. Silvina would have wanted that. Is Silvina truly gone? Probably. Maybe not. You never know. It's a JRPG. Yeah, when I read that this game was like a reasonably paced, like respectful of the player's time game, I was stunned by the idea because I knew about the 107 recruitable characters gimmick, and I thought, how can it possibly? But so far, it does indeed turn out that the characters come fast and furious. Well, I'm thinking the idea must be, I don't know, maybe we'll actually see the burning mirror in action, but it kind of seems like it's just concentrated solar power. So you could target that one tree. It does seem like it should have spread a little. But maybe it's flame retardant grass. Definitely not butchering these kobolds just as we step into the... Yeah. Crow Mimi can't get caught here. Must help everyone. Uh-oh. Imperials. Who the hell are you people? Wait, you're that traitor Valeria. Fancy meeting you here. There's a bounty on your head, you know. Might as well turn yourself in now. Young master, we're surrounded. We may be in trouble here. Maybe? Trust me, we're in trouble. Hey, you there. If I turn myself in, will you promise not to hurt the others? You want to strike a deal? Fine. Swear on the gods. Won't lay a finger on them. Valeria, if they arrest you as a traitor, they'll put you to death for it. I know. Then why? The burning mirror has to be destroyed. Who will do it if we all die here? Now, you got to make plot allowances because, like, nothing in our experience so far has suggested that these 6 people couldn't take out 8 Imperial soldiers. But I think we're probably supposed to picture a lot more. The Liberation Army must not lose its leader, not now. It's your duty as their leader to stay alive. That's why. Yeah, no. Stop, Valeria. We can fight these people. You know, James. You know, James. You've still a lot to learn. You mustn't lose sight of the greater good. It's a Morton's fork. Well, sort of. Same thing happens either way, but it doesn't but thou must you. That's a good girl. Behave yourself now. Men, listen up. Kill that filthy elf, the kobold, and the rest of those traitors. What? But you just swore by the gods that... Gods? There are no gods in this day and age. Ah! They're attacking! Girl Mimi will fight. Must not die here. Girl Mimi has joined the party. Oh, jeez. This is suboptimal formationing. But what are you gonna do? Okay. Oh, we've got an even higher level fire ability. Interesting. I guess it just seemed like, you know, presumably it's still the making or breaking an oath. So they just thought, you know, that's a good way to hammer it home. But yeah, there hasn't really been any kind of religious aspect to the game so far. Any of them survive the dancing flames. Oh, one of them won't even get a chance. Just gonna eat his soul. In a heroic way. Ashes to ashes. We won't hold them off much longer. We're definitely supposed to be picturing a lot more soldiers here. Looks like this is the end of the road. You are weak. Girl Mimi won't give up. That's right. Keep up the tough talk. Come on, man. Let's finish them. Commander James, we have come to help. What is this? Sir, some bunch calling themselves the Liberation Army showed up and... Yeah, we vaporized 6 of them, and it, like, they don't care. They're like, whatever. We will eventually we'll send wave after wave of ourselves, and eventually they'll be overwhelmed. And then also, how bad is the information transfer within the army? That they haven't, just over here on this side of the forest, they haven't even heard that there's a liberation. Well, the pile is probably, you know, it's ashes. What? Retreat! Run for your lives! Like, literally, if they just showed us more sprites, then we could say, like, okay, it's just a battle of attrition and we can't win. But by having, with the number of sprites they show and then how easy it is to kill what should technically have been almost all of them. Sir Matthew, how did you get here? The only way is through that forest. Someone told me about the burning mirror. Kirkus! Kirkus, Kirkus, Kirkus! Oh, how I've missed you! Sylvina, but how? No! It's all thanks to me! Stallion was amazing. There was a bright flash, and then he came running at incredible speed. Wish you could have seen how fast I ran. That was a once-in-a-lifetime escape. Sylvina. Oh, Sylvina. Hey, don't you want to hear about my great escape? Here's the ring. I guess we should never abandon hope. I guess it's a happy occasion, so it's not that inappropriate to do an I told you so, but like, come on, Gremia. Gremia. Wait. What's going on? A ring? What is this, Kirkus? But honestly, if my village was mainly comprised of, like, racists who can't wait to throw you in the dungeon for the slightest dissent from the racial ideology of the town, and one really cool fast guy and the love of your life, I would take comfort in my fast friend and the love of my life surviving. Well, you know, once everything is over. After you left the castle, Humphrey and Sanchez arrived, and they brought with them the survivors of the old Liberation Army. We now have enough forces to face Kwanda Rosman's army. Commander James, please give the signal to advance. Alright. Deploy the troops. Let's find out what the battle system for grand scale battles is like in this game. The battle at Panu Yakuta. I've heard it is Janken-esque, but we'll see. Kwanda Rosman, I'm going to make you pay for burning down the forest. Which he did not do. For burning down our village, which he did do. Liberation Army, you impudent traitors. I, Kwanda Rosman, shall punish you on behalf of His Majesty the Emperor. This. Yes, good reference. It's obviously not possible for the way that Final Fantasy 1 is structured as a gameplay narrative experience for it to actually really hit. But it is cool that it took me a very long time in life between when I first played the game when I was 6 and when I first beat Final Fantasy 1. So I was invested enough in Garland that when it's like at the end of the time loop, it turns out that Garland is now like saved and he's waiting to greet the heroes. Like, oh yeah, that guy who said one sentence to us and then we killed him. This is the Liberation Army's first battle. Please stay focused and give it your utmost, everyone. Everyone is really, really just doing some kind of weird... They're doing Guts' sword training drill in Berserk, where he learns to use a giant overhand sword by just aggressively forcing himself to do as many overhead strikes per day as he can. All right, come on, here we go. Your orders. Okay, so yes, it's Janken. So, I don't know. Let's try charging. Oh, interesting. Well, it seems unambiguous that the best charging unit is the commander's team. Let's find out. I hope they're busting out the bows. Everyone, let's go! They're charging too. It's oof. Not optimal. Let's try the other attack. Yeah, really doesn't... everything else about the game, in, you know, the limited, like, the not yet fully developed storytelling language of the JRPG. Actually, what am I even talking about? Like, Final Fantasy VI existed by the time this came out. But everything else about the game is trying to really be solemn about war. Okay. So, it would have been ideal there to have used magic. But let's use the other. Merchants can make enemy soldiers change sides. Thieves can tell us what they're going to do. And we have 2 of the thieves. Let's try it. Leave it to me. The enemy will use a charge attack. Good luck. Well, I hope that's true. We don't have great options for magic. Let's hope this goes well. Or otherwise. True Wind Rune. Demonstrate your power. Okay, yes. They literally just don't get their attempt. So that certainly turned the tide. What is the limit? Oh, there's the limit. I mean, honestly, if you had the power of a magic spell with that level of an area of attack, it would be a devastating weapon against a massed army of swordsmen. All right, let's see how well this other thief does. Looks like the limit on how many times you can use other is just how each character who can do it. Why do I have to fight? Yeah. The enemy will use a magic attack. We have to be careful. Well, I hope he's right. The soldier beauties. And the keepers of the forest. Kobolds and Pal. So it sounds like we're going to recruit one more kobold character and then just one, like, dog face guy. We can't let our enemy get the upper hand. They are doing a magic attack. Too bad. So literally, if you win the rock, paper, scissors, they don't even get to attack. Oh, come on. Just hit that one guy. He's just standing there. We're out of thieves. You know what? Let's see if the can we just... Hey. 144 remaining soldiers. They're all just... It's a perspective trick. They're all in very tight formation. He succeeded. Oh, we only got 18 out of it. Well, anyway, that's 18 people we don't have to butcher. And now we just find out. Hopefully they're not doing magic. And if they are, hopefully the casualty level is controlled by how many of them there are. The Lapants will lead the charge. The Pants family. By the name of my sword Korinji, I will defeat you. And they're charging too. This ought to do it. It's over. Although, oh my goodness. I mean, I guess that is what a cornered enemy fights like when they realize you're going to extirpate them. But they really put a hurt on us. I get the feeling that there's no broader strategic army management here where I'm like, oh no, we lost like half our forces. Cursed miscreants. Looks like I must resort to the burning mirror. You've already used it. He runs home to his castle. Nah, I'll use this to burn you all down. Will you, though? Oh no. Kwanda intends to use the burning mirror. Yeah, no shit. What? All troops, fall back. No, hold on. Spread out, disperse. We must keep casualties to a minimum. I see. They've scattered their men to reduce casualties, but it's too late now. Traitors to the Empire, taste your final judgment and die! Womp womp. What's happening? The Great Burning Mirror can only be destroyed by either this sacred dwarven weapon or just by a big rock. No ho ho! Now that's what you get for stealing! Witness the might of our Firewind cannon. It's the chief of the dwarves. Looks like we made it just in time, young elf. All right. Now all we gotta do is storm the castle. Take Kwanda Rosman's head. Let's go, James. I'm coming too, young master. Please, Commander James, take me with you. I'll go as well. All right, who else is coming? Curl Mimi go too. Want to say, friends, Curl Mimi want to go. All right, let's do this. No choices to be made, although we will do the choice of rationalizing our format here. Oh, looks like the hero is going to be leading from the back, which is probably what you should do when you are the leader of the Liberation Army. And then I don't think it matters whether you're in 4th or 5th rank, but it seems most appropriate for the hero to stand in the middle if he's going to be in the back row. Fortunately, he speaks softly and carries a long stick. Maybe Kuromimi would like a pointy hat. He would certainly look endearing in a pointy hat. I feel confident about that. Nope. All 108 of them? I'm actually entirely shocked. Okay. So, okay. A limited run. Count of Monte Cristo, Jim Caviezel. Some good sword fighting going on, and Mira got smashed. Nice. Does anyone else have something that Kuromimi might want to equip? Actually, perhaps this leather armor. When the Hindenburg crashes, some guy shouted, "That's gotta hurt!" Makes no sense to me that a chest plate is +5 and leather armor is +14, but... Alright. Hope this Kwanda Rosman keeps a save orb in his castle. We gotta look everywhere to make sure that we loot him successfully. Would I like to rest? Yeah, maybe they're just being real. They're being realistic about sexy armor. Like, listen, it's just not as protective. If you were in a full leather suit, you would be much safer. Good for him. What a great moment after having been embarrassed earlier, realizing, okay, now I can make it a thing. Now everyone's going to think I'm cool. Unlike before when they're like, ooh, kind of sucking their teeth. That's great. Yeah, like there could very well be a deleted scene where Iceman or whatever, whoever shouts that. It wouldn't feel out of place. Thing with X-Men, and I am not like a big Marvel guy, so I'm hardly an expert here. But because of the serialized, like the way that serialized storytelling kind of has to work, so that we can keep having X-Men stories, it leads to like Magneto is like the most determined case of the villain is right. Because like every X-Men plot is Magneto being like, we simply must, like, we cannot make peace with the humans. They will genocide the mutants if we cannot trust them. And then Professor X is like, you know, there has to be a better way of harmony and stuff. And then at the end of the story, everyone's like, I've seen the light. I shouldn't have proposed the Mutant Genocide Act of 1993. And then next month, just like a new person's like, you know what? We should genocide the mutants. And the humans are once again like, yes, let's genocide those fucking mutants. A lightning rune piece. Come up with the most foolproof genocide scheme yet. Item for the library. Have we even recruited a librarian yet? Sun's coming in. I am stunned that that is entirely new information. Just never heard that mentioned before. That's fascinating. It's definitely a fun fact. You know what the first like big long form, really one of the, I've read a few like relatively contemporary, when I say relatively contemporary, I mean like 20 years ago, Marvel stories. But the fact that Civil War was one of the first ones I read was not a great hook to get me out of DC and into Marvel. Because that story is so frustratingly told. And like, also just because of the nature of many artists not being able to shut up about telling you what their art means. Oh yeah, when I was reading it, I was like, this isn't bad. Like great art. Like kind of heavy-handed how obviously Iron Man's side is wrong. You know what? I might as well, okay. Probably this is a trick. But if she'll let us rest, we might as well get free healing. Pardon me. Yeah. And then the climax is literally that Captain America looks up and he's like, wait a minute, hold on. When we have big superhero brawls in the city, it causes property damage? And then he just surrenders. And he's like, I see now, Iron Man, that fascism is the right solution, is like the only way to go. And then Mark Millar is out there giving interviews where he's like, you know, I wanted to confront the reader with the fact that fascism is great. You think the whole time that Iron Man is being, you know, a bad guy. But in truth, he's the only one brave enough to operate a terrifying police state where he imprisons people in the negative zone. I mean, my engagement on a serious level with comics lasted for like a few years in my early 20s. So like I haven't followed mainstream comics since I fell off somewhere during Countdown to Infinite Crisis. Or Countdown to some kind of crisis using some variation of the word infinity. And just never went back. Let's see if Victor can equip the sexy half armor. Nope. It's because it's lady armor. That's an interesting point, your mom. It's like a lot of the heavy hitters are outsiders for sure. Like, you get a fair bit of that in. You got to kind of dig a little deeper. Like that's what 90s Flash comics are like. Just all about Wally West's life and balancing his life with being the Flash. Who the hell can equip half armor? Oh, maybe it's Kuromimi because he's small. Green Lantern Corps are... Yeah, and I think like that works at the highest levels. But then it starts breaking down. I don't think you can include Watchmen in that sense because it's like a, meta story about them. But like then like you can look at Marvel and be like, the like some of the mutants are just very much godlike with the extent of their powers. Scarlet Witch or something. And then like there's the entire Bat family, of course. Just people in tights who are kicking ass. Green Arrow. And like, I don't know. Maybe some people can relate to Iron Man. I think Iron Man's a great character, but I do not find him likable. I do love Spider-Man. And I love the Spider-Man cartoon. I don't really, like, I don't think I've ever encountered actual Dazzler stuff, like in comics. But as a kid who had no real engagement with actual X-Men material for the most part in his youth, my favorite X-Man was Jubilee because I wasn't in the know enough to realize that I wasn't supposed to have that opinion. All right, giving up on the half armor. And so in the X-Men beat 'em up, I love Dazzler as in my mind a stand-in for Jubilee. There's some great Booster Gold stories, especially right around the time I was reading. If I can't put the gauntlet on his little dog hands. All right. unless I get to the boss fight here and Kwanda Rosman is just way too tough, we're just gonna have to say in single combat or like in a like poses some riddle that forces him to admit that he can't eat the earth. Nice. So was the idea here that one of the power fantasy male characters had to bite the bullet and be like, fine, I'll wear the cursed chain bikini. Huh. Looks like Kwanda Rosman might be a nope, this is just his dragon. Kind of looks like it might be a lightning dragon, which is a shame. I guess we'll find out if I do very little damage to it. Feels like probably fire magic's not gonna... When we get to him, he better just do the Dr. Wily thing. Just get down and start groveling. Shit, Cleo was just not assigned to the party, so I can't throw a fog of deception. It's not really... Yeah. 69 does suggest to me this is a... Yeah. Perhaps that's it's like a lightning dragon. And we have no healing magic. Just by the game being like, nope, sorry. For plot reasons. Might as well do Dancing Flames. Not bad. How am I for time here? Gotta wrap up fairly soon, but I mean, you know, the culmination of the plot line that I started at the beginning of this session would be a really natural stopping point. Big hit on Valeria, but we have the technology to address that. Might as well do Firestorm. I wish Gremio was holding more medicine. Oh well. You know, it's a good DC book before it got canceled. Good DC comic was, I think it was just called Gotham PD, or maybe Gotham Central. But it was like a police procedural set in the Gotham PD, where the cops wrestle with things like, you know, what's the point in being... What? Batman solves all the real crimes here. Should we feel good about that? Hell yes, Valeria. Okay. Would really love to have Cleo's healing magic here, but hopefully we just outpace this thing in the doing damage race. Haven't read much Moon Knight. Perhaps none. Aesthetically, Moon Knight is a character that appeals to me. Okay. So, unfortunately, Gremio. Ooh, total left field thing, but in terms of modern one-off comics that are really good, there was a run, I can't even remember who the authors were, but there was a run of Jonah Hex comics that really leaned into the like revisionist Western feel, and they were just terrific. Victor will warrant a mega medicine when he gets a little more damaged. Sleep well, friend. Thanks for stopping by. Oh no. Okay. Not quite enough to take down poor Kuromimi. Kobold, heal thyself. Cool. Really can't justify having Valeria spend even a single round healing. Victor, fortunately, can be easily justified to spend around healing. I'm liking the high critical hit rate for the hero. This one definitely feels just like pure attrition. It's just either we're gonna make this thing run out of hit points before it spams its area of effect attack enough times to finish us off, or that won't happen and we'll win. Often turn-based RPG battles of this sort come down to like figure out the optimal strategy for doing damage and then execute it as many times as you can in between rounds where you struggle to stay alive. Nice. This one wasn't quite a struggle. It went well. Oh good, more half armor. I wonder, where could Kwanda Rosman be? Well then, you must be the leader of the Liberation Army. Wait, aren't you Teo's boy? I see. So the rumors are true. Teo's son, leading the rebels. Just don't expect me to go easy on you. I was once known as Iron Wall Rosman. I will again serve as the wall that protects Emperor Barbarossa. Come, come, soldiers of the Liberation Army. Witness my strength. Behold the power of the Black Rune, given to me by Lady Windy. Who gives the runes to the Imperials? He does have a bit of a... Oh, it's the duel system, which from what I understand is a different Junkin game. In the name of the Empire, he definitely has some overlap with Hardman, eh? And His Majesty the Emperor, I shall not let you pass. Think you can break through my impenetrable defenses, do you? Attack the enemy. They will attack you as well. Okay, so it's not quite rock, paper, scissors. It's rock, paper, scissors-esque, but with a real... I feel like he will choose to attack. But I don't know. Oh no! It's no use. I see through your attack. Let's try attacking. He's defending. You got me, but not this time. Is he just cycling? Nope. He's just defending. How cautious you are, as befits a leader. It's true. So he's just going to defend, huh? Now it's my turn. Well, that actually makes it seem like he's about to do a special. No, he's just attacking. You don't stand a chance, but I shall show no mercy. That sounds like a special attack. Nope. Damn it. I should have been doing my special attack. Take this. Damn it. Well, we both succeeded. I did more damage, but let's see what your next move will be. That sounds to me like he's just defending. Yep. Ha! Now it's my turn. Excellent. Oh, but you still take the attack. Urgh. You're good, son of Teo. But now it's my turn. Is he going to do attack, and then special? Is he just in a holding pattern? I think he is. Unfortunately, you still take attack damage when you're landing your special. Urgh. I don't know. Nope. Should have specialed again. I might have won. Take this. There we go. I must be more careful. No, this was not the time to be careful. Another excellent the camera work of the battles is effective. Impressive. I never thought you would break through my defenses. Well, I did. Would you like to join the Liberation Army? Actually, wait, no. The genocide thing probably disqualifies you. Impossible. Lady Windy's black rune will... You make everyone crazy. You fix them. Kobold? Why are you still sane? The black rune, it's... Ah, my arm! What's going on? Not sure, but it's got something to do with the black rune. I think he said something about that. Agonizing scream. And he's dead. Nope. What happened to me? Prepare to die. That's right. This is vengeance for the lives you've taken. Elf. Kobold. I see. Well, get on with it, mother. Do what you must. It seems your actions are justified. Wait a minute. Something's wrong. Was he being controlled by the Black Rune? Are you Commander James of the Liberation Army? Go on, then. Cut off my head. This is a fitting end for a warrior. He should already know that I'm Commander James because we were just talking about it. Something's wrong here. What are you waiting for? Do it. Remove my head. I'm getting impatient. Why did you suddenly...
Yeah, you're not the same person you were.
It's because of this. This burnt rune. Rune? This was the black rune Lady Windy gave me. It holds the power to control monsters. Ironically, I also appear to have been under its sway. Windy cannot be trusted. I wonder if the Emperor is aware of this. If only the Tsar knew what the Cossacks are doing. But whatever I say matters little now. The only way to atone for what I have done is to accept my fate as a warrior. Hold on, though. What if you atoned by making things right? You want me to join you? Me, join the Liberation Army. I served Emperor Barbarossa for 10 years, and you're asking me to betray him just like that. What if, though, per your own words just now, the Emperor is being victimized by his vizier? That's right. The Emperor is no longer the same man you knew 7 years ago. Perhaps the Emperor I believed in did cease to exist many years ago. Commander James, allow me to join the Liberation Army. My loyalty to Emperor Barbarossa remains unwavering, but I cannot, under good conscience, serve His Majesty as he is now. Again, I never got to finish the Water Margin novel because the edition that I bought when I was younger, when I was on a kick trying to read the great Chinese classical novels, just cut off. But that was the kind of line. When they all decide to start a rebellion, it's not to overthrow the Emperor. It's to restore the Emperor by getting the eunuchs or whatever that are controlling him out of there. Congratulations, Commander James. Your first battle was a great success.
Kuro Mimi! Oh, Mommy! Kuro Mimi!
Oh, Kuro Mimi!
Big bro!
It appears the spell has been broken. Thank you, Commander James. What will you do now? My village is gone, and something tells me my war is not over yet. As long as your war continues, I'd like to keep fighting as well, Commander James. Please allow me to join the Liberation Army.
And me!
Oh, and me as well! Not you, Sylvina. It's too dangerous.
Nope. I'm not letting you out of my sight again, Kirkus.
Then I'm joining too. Yes, we heard you, Stallion. Thank you.
Kuro Mimi fight too. Everyone healed, but country still sick.
Kobolds are very sensitive to the mandate of heaven. I no longer have a place to return to either. Let me also fight, so that I can prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. Commander James, you have grown so much through this battle. See how many have gathered under your banner. Come then, let us head back to Odessa Castle. I've never played Might and Magic 6, but since possibly even the 90s, I've before I even knew the concept of the Mandate of Heaven, I thought that was the cool as hell title. All right, everyone, let's mosey. It's good to be home. All this waiting makes me wander off somewhere. Yeah, they do look hideous when I've seen screenshots. Looks like Tayo's wanderlust is kicking in again. Yeah, nothing new to say here. Okay. No one over here. I don't think I'm going to talk to everyone right now. 3 months. Oh, wow. Time lapse. I have only played the first 4 games. but I'm quite fond of all of them. 3 months after defeating Kwanda Rosman's army. I know the fifth one is kind of like two sides of the coin with the fourth one, but I haven't even played that.
Oh, young master, is something the matter?
Well, you know, just the stresses of leading the liberators.
Master James, are you thinking about your father?
Well, I am now.
Woohoo! Wonder when supper will be ready.
Feels like that should be very predictable. We're an army. We should be having supper at a consistent time. So we've reorganized the fort a bit while I was gone over the past 3 months.
What do you want?
The hell do you think, Luke? Wow, we've almost... Well, no, never mind. At a glance, I thought we've almost filled out this screen, but we haven't. But let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Not quite 1/3 of the way to recruiting all 108 stars.
Hey, why isn't Odessa here? Isn't this supposed to be the new Liberation Army's headquarters? After our hideout was attacked, I gathered the scattered survivors of our army, and we finally managed to make our way here only to find this mess. What the hell's going on? Wait, is that you, James? Where's Odessa? Why isn't she here to greet us?
Well, you must be Sir Flick.
Yeah? Who are you?
I am Matthew Silverberg, Odessa's brother. I serve as the Liberation Army's chief military strategist.
Odessa's brother? Okay, so why isn't she the one greeting us? She's here, isn't she?
Odessa is dead.
Matthew!
No! What? So the rumors that she's missing? Commander James, shall I tell him? But what about Odessa's final wish? Odessa made her final wish to keep the Liberation Army from falling apart. But now that we've rebuilt it, it's time we told the truth.
What's this? What are you hiding? What do you mean Odessa is dead? Answer me, James.
We cannot keep it a secret forever. Many have already had their suspicions. Odessa was killed during the attack on the hideout at the Lennon camp.
What? Victor, how could you let that happen? You were supposed to protect her.
Forgive me, Flick. Odessa was concerned about the future of the Liberation Army right until her last breath. I see. I suppose James was appointed her successor? That's correct.
You can't be serious. Humphrey, Sanchez, you just went along with this and let it happen? How could he, of all people, replace Odessa?
We need a leader. And James is doing well. Calm down now, Flick. Wasn't there a reason you came here?
Sure, I came here for a reason. One to be shared with Odessa, not you, James. Humphrey, Sanchez, I'll be staying at the inn in Kaku. If you change your minds, come join me. Unless you actually plan on sticking around with this lot.
Commander James, I believe Flick is in shock after hearing about Lady Odessa's death. Yeah, no shit, but thank you, Sanchez. He's not usually like that. We should sit down and have a proper talk with Flick. After all, he was vice commander of the Liberation Army. Agreed. Right now, we need all the help we can get. Victor has joined the party. Odessa is. Yep.
Then Lady Odessa is. Was he during the attack on the hideout? I can't believe it. If we can get Sir Flick and the survivors of the old Liberation Army he brought with him to join us.
It would be good. There's no denying that.
Hey, heard any interesting gossip?
Given that you're not a fighting character, maybe you could, like, share some gossip with us or something.
This place is way too cramped to get any work done.
And yet. Yeah, no good reason not to do this. Now it's the Dragon Fang staff. Just the Shiko sword. Damn it. Somebody else is holding the new rune piece. Really would be nice if the game lets you just do... Oh, sweet. We have baths now. Let's talk to this guy first, then. Right. The Bathmaster.
What's up? Want to take a bath? Trust me, you'll feel refreshed.
It's been probably like 4 months. Okay. We have no items to place in the baths. Okay. Interesting. Hey there. Did you need something from my vault? Well, hold on. Who has... Wait, does somebody have... I thought I saw someone with half armor. I was like, maybe this will be a clue with who I'm going to be able to equip with half armor. Damn it, if you strip, you just take everything from them. Okay. A lot of inventory management to do, and I think I would prefer to do that next week. So... let's throw down a save. Yes, he did. So I just gotta remember. I think it's Matthew that I have to talk to change who's in the party. Not sure I needed to stay at the end. I don't think that the strip command lets you select what to take off them. Maybe it does, and I should have just used it. But next time, perhaps I'll just remember it. What I should absolutely do is pin that important message and unpin this no longer necessary message. Hey, that's an excellent point. What better time than right now? 33 I think I had. If I counted right. Yep, just takes it all off him. It'll be easier to just add him to the party. So I'll deal with that next time. Okay. It's a fun little session. Nice little break from worrying about my sweet little kitty. And, yeah. Cool. Fun time. Still digging this game. Really enjoying it. Perhaps someday soon. Play a little longer someday. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we'll do this all in 3-hour chunks. No clue. So, there's a tentativeness to anything I'm about to say about the schedule because of the aforementioned health issues that poor Abra is suffering, which could easily disrupt anything that I plan to do in devastating ways. But I guess what'll be, que sera for that. Que sera sera. But here's what I think should be happening in the coming days. Tomorrow, hopefully, some blueprints. Didn't get a chance to play last week. Really hope to get one this week. I would love to, as I've been saying for weeks now, get some Lolo in or something on an off day. But we make plans and the gods laugh. Mage did not work out. Maybe June will. So that could happen. You never know. On Wednesday, barring unforeseen disaster, certainly going to knock on wood for that one. Greg will be here, and we will be carrying on with our project to play all the beat 'em ups. We are going to the Super Nintendo next to clear out 1993 Super Nintendo beat 'em ups, which I don't know which ones we're doing next. Possibly the Japanese original of whatever the third rushing beat game was called. It was called Peacekeepers when they brought it here, but the localization was so weird that we feel like we need to play the original. Pardon me. To finally make a determination about the game itself. So we're looking forward to that. And there's some other Super Nintendo games, including 2 Sailor Moon games, which... Ooh. Do tell your mom. I'm not sure that those Sailor Moon games are very good. I don't remember. I know I've played them before. But even if they're just okay beat 'em ups, Greg loves anime, and I like anime. And I'm a big fan of, well, at least when I was a kid, I loved Sailor Moon. Can you believe Sailor Moon appealed to me when I was a young man? Ooh. Probably not The Punisher. Because that definitely wasn't Japan only. Do you remember anything about like the milieu? The setting? Well, if the timing works out, we can take a look at the list and see if it's from our through 1993 time period. Okay. Would they... Was one of the heroes like a cowboy stripper in his normal form? Oh, cool. I don't know. Okay, you remember Sengoku. I wonder. I mean, it might just be that it's from 1994, and so it's not on our list. I feel like... I mean, I've discovered a few that I didn't get just by trawling the Moby Games database. But, I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Maybe it belongs on the list. Or maybe it's a phase 3 when we go on to 1994. Who knows? But at any rate, hopefully we'll do some more work on finishing off phase 2. All the beat 'em ups through 1993, starting Wednesday. If all goes according to plan, on Thursday, we'll be doing Friday Night Frosthaven on Thursday because Rich had 2 consecutive Fridays not available. We didn't get to it this week because I just didn't have it in me on Thursday. But I can't just worry about Abra so much that I don't have fun anymore. Because ultimately, what good is that? Abra wouldn't want that. Abra doesn't want that. She's still alive. She might be fine. I don't know. But yeah, so if all goes according to plan, we're going to find out if we can beat the Thawed Wood scenario. The second room threw some wacky special rules at us. We're going to do our best, and we'll see how it works out. And I'll be in my drag persona. the professor, Jamie Rose. Hopefully not constantly slipping into a Southie accent because of the dwarves today. We'll see. And then, before you know it, it'll be Saturday again. And probably we'll be doing more Suikoden. If it's not Suikoden, it will be because Jamie's going to come back and play Leisure Suit Larry. But I think probably I'm still at a 1 Jamie a week pace. Until I get to the point that I can do the whole thing myself. I feel like it's too much to ask Danielle to be doing all that makeup work with me. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And onward into the future. And it got cloudy out again. But we had a nice little bit of sun there. And actually, I like rainy weather, so it's fine. Okay. Hey, that's it. We're done for today. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, can't hear my voice, I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, when we're massing those 108 stars in our lake castle together, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.